Welcome to the Shannon Wheeler Podcast. After spending 30 years in the housing industry, I have come to understand that there are two things that I love to talk about. One of those is real estate, and the other one is people. And so this is a show that is going to focus on those two things. Real estate and all the things that go on in the real estate markets, because it's of a lot of interest to me, and people, because I've learned, if nothing else, over 30 years' time, that every business is truly a people business. Thank you for spending some time with us.
Super glad to have everyone here. As you know, half the show is going to be about real estate and real estate finance related type topics, because that's what I do. But then the other part is about people. I've found that business and people are not separate. No business happens without conversations first. And so we're going to start with the people. And so that's what we're going to do today. You just never know what you're going to find. But today we're starting with the people. And I have a very, 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 very special guest on the show today. And that guest is a man goes by the name of Kerry Williams. And I'm going to let Kerry introduce himself and tell you a little bit about his story. But the first thing that jumps to my mind is Charity Chopped in the Borough champion Kerry Williams. So hip hop's top chef. We're going to talk about what an exciting night that was and what a competition that was. But before we get too far into it, they all know me. Kerry, tell everyone about yourself if they don't know you through Charity Chopped in the Borough. There's a whole lot of things that you're known for. We're going to talk about them all, but just tell everyone a little bit about yourself and where you're based out of these days and what kind of things you're into, and we'll just kind of get started. How about that?
Absolutely. What's up, everybody? It's your man, Culture Freedom, hip hop's top chef and one of the co-founders of the legendary Poor Righteous Teachers Crew. I'm originally from Trenton, New Jersey. I moved to the Tennessee area, Laverne, in fact, about 24 years ago. Me, my wife, and my two kids, and I was a chef back in New Jersey as well. So when I moved to Tennessee, the first place I transitioned to was Music City, Sheridan, where I was there for a number of years.
Now, self-taught.
Yeah, self-taught.
So you really came into it through a love of cooking.
Absolutely.
And self-taught, and that's so heart, soul, feel. That's how you. Who was it that influenced you originally? Where did you get the thought, this is something that I'm interested in?
That's part of what I talk about in my book, Picture Perfect, is that was my mother. My mother, Phyllis Williams, she was an excellent cook. To me, she could cook anything, and all of my family members loved to eat her food, and that's where I developed my palate for good food,
Okay.
And like we typically do, man, our moms, to us, nobody can whoop our mother's cooking,
Right.
because
right.
we've been eating it so long, but she actually was really good. And that's what developed my passion for cooking and my love for it. But it wasn't until I was in between gigs and I was working at this department store. And one of the ladies there, she was like, they're opening up a new restaurant by the waterfront in Trenton, New Jersey. And she was like, I think you ought to go down there and try out and see what you can do, because I used to bring stuff to work for them to try. And she was like, I think it'll be a good place for you to start. I went there, and unfortunately, they had hired all their cooks and all of that already, and I filled out an application there maybe 3 or 4 times. And on the last try, they was like, "Okay, I'll bring you in. We need someone to supervise the dish room."
Okay.
And there was
not what you had in mind, but it's a start,
not
right?
what I had in mind, and it was a huge place. I mean, they had a huge dance floor. They had an outside area, so I mean, the dish room was really big. And you know what? I humbled myself because I really wanted to learn and I really wanted to be a part of what was going on. And I accepted the job. And I might have done that for like maybe 2 or 3 months. And then they brought me over, and someone had messed up some cornbread actually.
Okay.
And it was like, Kerry, what can you do with this? Let's see what you can do with it. And I turned it into some really good stuffing. And during a Sunday brunch, people just ate it all up.
That is outrageous.
I'm serious,
what
man.
a story.
And it was
oh,
like,
my
well,
goodness.
come over and do some more prep. So I started with prep, ended up on the line, worked my way down the line to saute. And then I left there and I got a job at the only hotel in downtown Princeton, New Jersey.
So whoa, hold on just a minute.
Yeah.
The question begs to be asked.
Hmm.
In that moment, did you humble yourself or did you show faith in yourself?
Well, I think it was a combination of both because the scripture says faith without works is dead, right?
Right.
So I had the faith, but I just had to put the action behind it and accept the challenge. So I think it was a combination of both. And I was just like, I really, I was the type of person that if I made my mind up on doing something, that I was going to stick to it.
Yeah, because the dish room to you was a humble assignment at that moment.
Absolutely.
But in the plan, it was actually what elevated you. It was a
Yeah.
springboard, So it's interesting
right.
how you had to have the faith in yourself. You had to believe in yourself. Say, I'm doing the right thing in the right way.
That's right.
Because you would have never thought, oh, my start's going to be in the dish room. You'd have
Yeah.
never thought that for yourself.
Absolutely not. There was zero entitlement. I just was, and I was already by that time a celebrity in that area.
Yeah.
So with some of the guys
See, that
in there,
also plays
they also
into-
knew.
oh,
Like,
okay.
hey, what you doing?
Whole different factor involved there.
So I
Yeah.
was just modeling, the factor that, there was a question asked one time, if you wasn't rapping or you wasn't doing anything, what would you be doing at this moment? And some people answered, I'll be out on the street mugging people. I'll be doing this and I'll be doing that. And I never wanted that to be my answer. Not that that wasn't the answer for them, but for me, I never wanted that to be my answer. So, and I just was willing to do what I had to do to get where I needed to go. So I just, I took it on and it started to snowball,
So where'd you get taken from there? Where'd you go?
I went to the only hotel in downtown Princeton, New Jersey, and that was the Nassau Inn Hotel. And I went there and I worked along a French chef by the name of Felix. And he kind of took me through, like, you ever seen one of those karate masters where you're just here, they're taking you very slow and they're making you repeat things over. And he used to hand me hot plates and all of that stuff, man, burn my hands. But I guess he wanted
was
to
like a
see my
sensei.
pad. Yeah, he was
True
like a sensei, man.
Teacher, is that teacher? Is that what that? Yeah.
He knew everything, man. And that was another humbling experience because by the time I left, the place was called Kathmandu. And by the time I left there, I was like, man, I'm young. I got my stuff together and I'm coming in there. And he was like, no.
Simmer down.
Let me start teaching you about, port wine sauce, and sauteed arugula and, and things like that.
You knew what you knew, but what you didn't know was what you didn't know. There was a whole nother level of what you didn't know out there.
I mastered short order cooking. I wasn't no chef. And he made that clear. What I mean?
What a blessing.
But he was a fun
run
guy.
Into that guy.
Yeah, he was a fun guy.
Is he still around? What's it?
Felix, I'm not sure. He was an older guy, so he had his sons around my age, so he kind of understood. He took me under his wing, and I really learned a lot. Learned some Creole and everything while I was there. So it was a humbling experience, but it was a great moment to learn, and that's why I learned like hotels, is a good place to learn because they do specials, they do different type of cuisines. So yeah, I just kind of took it all in.
Yeah. So let's do this. We're gonna fast forward the story a little bit.
Okay.
I want to get to how did Kerry get to the presidential debates in Nashville? Okay. So we're gonna take that journey, and then from there, I want to talk about Charity Chopped in the Borough. We've got a very special presentation for you, well earned, well deserved. And then I want to take the rest of the time and I'm going to take Kerry back to where the beginning started. And then we're going to kind of go through the book some and let you narrate a little bit of that. So
Absolutely.
Fast forward, we're from Trenton, New Jersey. How do you go from that to being a head chef at a presidential debate in Nashville, Tennessee?
Well, yeah. So
tell me you had that planned out.
So after I left the Sheraton Music City, I went to work for Gaylord Opryland, which is the largest non-casino hotel in the country. And it was another experience where I was told this is once you've learned don't leave a job until you felt like you learned as much as you possibly could at that job. Okay. So when I was there at the Sheraton, I felt like I kind of peaked a little bit. So I was looking for a new challenge. So I left there and went to Gaylord Opryland, and there were chefs there from all over the world. They would bring in different, we would call them, what was called it, JWs or something like that, J1s. It was J1s, and they would bring them in, and there was different students and stuff like that, and from Jamaica, New Mexico, and just being around them, it was a whole learning environment. And they had some really good chefs there as well. And I worked my way up in there and became a sous chef. And from there, I met the guy who was gonna give me the job at Belmont.
Okay.
Who he was actually he was their apprentice chef there. They had an apprentice program, and I went to work for the Hutton Hotel, which he came and worked there, and then he left and got a job at the Nashville City Club, which is a private club downtown.
I was a Nashville City Club member.
Yeah,
in early 2000s.
Well, I might have prepared the food for you.
That is outrageous.
Yeah,
that is fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. We'll go circle back to that. Okay. So here you are. You get the job at Belmont. Next thing you know, they announce they're having presidential debates in Belmont,
right.
And then all of a sudden, you've gone from the dish room in Trenton, New Jersey, to the presidential debates in Nashville.
Yeah. So I got hired as the head catering chef there at Belmont. And so all the catering events like the CMAs and all of that stuff would come past my table. So those all those things that I catered. And the debates was no different. So when we did that there, we got a group of chefs from around the country who came in, and it was my job to make sure everything went how it was supposed to go during the entire debate. You know, everything from the media crew to the two candidates and, you know, whoever else came in, you know, it was my job to make sure that everything went to where it was supposed to go. It all looked good. It tasted fresh. It was prepared properly. It was kind of hectic. And it happened on my mother's birthday.
Oh, wow.
And my mother, she had passed of breast cancer.
By this time.
You know, when I was younger, you know, when I was like 18 years old. So so it was a surreal moment for me because, you know, it seemed like everything had led to that moment. So when I came in that morning, I had her on my mind. So it was just, everything just went in autopilot. And I was like, you know, when I walked in there, I felt like she walked in with me, and everything just, you know, it was going to go well that day. you know, it was going to go on because, you know, that was the biggest stage that I had been on as a chef up to that moment. And it was special because my birthday is actually the day after hers. So,
oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it was a great gift for me and for her. And it just went really well, man. I enjoyed it.
Oh, wow. I mean, what a moment.
Yeah, man.
What a moment. And you've had a life full of moments. Now, one moment, not anywhere near on that scale, but a whole lot of fun for everybody here in Murfreesboro and beneficial for a lot of people in Murfreesboro, was Charity Chopped in the Borough.
Absolutely.
Last year. So I came into contact with you through Laura Gossett, who's the executive chef for Charity Chopped in the Borough. Yep. And the two of you have worked together, and so that's how I got introduced to you, and I was so glad that I did. And she said, I've got this guy, and he's out of Nashville, and he's going to bring something different to the competition, and he's got a great story. You need to meet him. So I went. I ran into you by chance, actually, outside the kitchen, you and Tasha both. Tasha, if y'all don't know, she's over here. She's off camera, but she's always here with us.
That's right.
And she was there that night.
That's my ace, man.
That's it. So we visited, and I just instantly enjoyed being around you, enjoyed the energy. And, you know, I thought, I don't know, we'll see, you know, how this turns out, because the two-time defending champions were really good. I mean, Jason Matheson, Primrose Table, I mean, he had won in two different formats, and I, for the world, felt like, you know, it's one of those things where, do you see someone else winning? Yes. Are you betting that somebody else, are you betting for the three-peat? You know, I was kind of in that camp. Like, I don't want to bet against but at the same time, they're you know, they may be gettable. So
Yeah, he had proven himself already. Yeah. So,
I mean, you got to
yeah.
be the man. You got to beat the man,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
And so, at any rate, this was our that was our ninth year,
Wow.
sixth competition. There were a few years that we took off. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But one of my favorite things is the moment that we announced the win. So I'm going to have Trent run this clip, and here's a couple things I really love about this.
Yeah.
First of all, I was truly shocked
Yeah.
because it was
Yeah.
it was
close.
it was in the dessert pull. I mean, it was exactly what you're looking for in those. And then the other thing is, so you know, the music is your music.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a perfect segue for us to the next part of the show. But anyway, Trent, if you could run the video, and this is the moment that we announced the winner of Charity Chopton Borough 2025.
Awesome.
Okay, are y'all ready?
Yeah!
Okay,
I need a little more enthusiasm. Y'all are boring.
yeah, come on, let's get it up. Okay, so our previous champions, they're all on here. Faith, Hope, and Love were years 20, 21, and 22, because I'm not putting COVID on my board. We've got the two-time defending champions, 23 and 24. And now we're ready to announce the winner of Charity Chopton Borough 2025. Can I get a drum roll? The winner, Charity Chopton Borough 2025, Team Shelter. The dessert pulled it out. Wow, it's a stunner. No three-peat. It's a stunner. Oh, man. Thank you very much. No, you help. That clip, to me, I was surprised. It was a stunner,
Yeah.
but not that it wasn't possible. It's just the way the score shook out, all the factors involved. So it was a great moment. The walkout music was your walkout music. So you know, I want to just take this opportunity. This, for those of you that don't know, this is our trophy. This is the Charity Chopton Borough trophy, and we put the winners every year on there. And these years were COVID years.
Oh.
So I put Faith, Hope, and Love on the
Man,
trophy because I'm not
that's
putting
awesome.
COVID on my board.
That's right. That's
right?
right.
And so these were the two-time defending champions. They were tough. And here you are. So your chef was Eric Lusk with VIP
Yeah.
Magazine. He'll be there with you again
Great
this
guy,
year.
man.
Oh,
Great
man.
guy.
Made
Great
a
guy.
winning team.
That's
and
right, man.
it was a hard-fought victory, but, boy, it was a stunner, and it was a great one. And so here you are. I want to present this to you.
Oh, man.
This is for you to carry around, and all we ask is you bring it back safe and sound to defend your crown in September. So September the 10th, 2026.
Awesome.
Hop Springs, same location. You can set that over there because you're going to take that home with you. And I just want to shake your hands and tell you how much I appreciate it.
Appreciate you
Good
having
victory.
me,
A lot
man.
of people are going to benefit. Food, clothing, shelter in Rutherford County.
That's right.
So real quick, just talk a little bit about the competition. It's stressful, but probably fun at the same time.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, that really tests the true heart of a chef. You know, it's not when everything is perfectly laid out for you, but it's those moments in the kitchen where it's like, chef, what are we going to do? We're out of this. What could we use for this? Or we don't have enough of this. And that's when you're tested and you have to be creative, like, you know, Chopped or, you know, Top Chef or whatever. It's like they put you in the most difficult situations to see how you function. And I was just ready for that, man. I was ready to challenge myself. I think that's what was most important. I wanted to, you know, see what I was made of. Like, as you mentioned already, there was a lot of talented chefs there. I mean, really good guys who were just not just good chefs, but they were good human beings, you know, good guys to be around. And, you know, it was a wonderful opportunity. My wife was there. My son was there. My mother-in-law, some people from my church. So it was a great opportunity for them to see what I did in real time, like in a situation like that. And the atmosphere was great. I met a lot of interesting people. And I just wanted to be a part of such a great, you know, cause.
Yeah,
you know?
well, we could not ask for a better champion. So we are glad to have you as a champion and glad to have you coming back this year. And again, one of the things I mentioned that I really loved was the walkout music was your music. And so that's a great segue for us to kind of go back and with the time that we've got left with you today, I want to talk about this book and I want to talk about your music. And, you know, you came into our lives as this amazing, accomplished chef and won Charity Chopped and Borough. But as you've alluded to a little bit, there was a whole life in music before any of this became part of your story. So tell everybody about the title of the book, where they can get the book, and I'm just going to flip through some of the pages and let you just sort of narrate a little.
Well, the name of the book is Picture Perfect, and it's how this hip-hop legend became a chef. And I'm one of the co-founders of the legendary Poor Righteous Teachers Group. We were signed to the largest independent record label in America, which was Profile Records. Some of our label mates was Run DMC, Special Ed, people like that. And, you know, between shows and gigs, I would just cook, man. And like I said before, you know, I gained my passion for cooking from my mother. So I kind of like, it kind of follows my journey.
Have I seen you make some of these online?
Yeah, some of those dishes. Have I seen you do
some demonstrations of some of these? This looks familiar.
Some of those dishes are ones that I made for the president of the university.
Okay.
He would have private lunches, and they would tell me what he wanted, and I would make them and come up with recipes to make it happen, man. And some of them are from the presidential debates, and some of them from the CMAs. And some of them I just made at home, you know, for my family.
Unbelievable.
And then, some of them was private dinners. Some of them were teas that I did at different hotels and restaurants. So, for instance, like this right here, it was a meal for like 400 people.
Wow.
So that's why I made sure I put that was a big challenge for me, just making sure we got everything right. We had enough food for everyone. As a picture of my mother.
I was going to say, who do we have here?
That's a picture of my mother, and I kind of talk about, you know, the fact that she was great, and she left this earth at the tender age of 38, so she didn't get a chance to kind of really show what she can do. So I try to make her a part of everything that I do. Like, for instance, this barbecue sauce here that I sell, there's a picture of her right here on the back.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
so it's just every time I do anything with food, you know, like I said, she always with me. And then I once said, and it's true in the interview, that the place I feel closest to her is in the kitchen. So because that was one of the things
you
that
said those flavors
she was
it
so
all off
passionate
of you.
about it. Yeah, so you know, and then some of those are from shows that I did. Some of the photos. Studio sessions.
So talk a little bit about your music career. We've learned a lot about your chef, but talk a little bit really about. I mean, this is an accomplished career.
Yeah.
You may or may not be familiar with rap from that time period, but nonetheless, this was you guys made a big difference, made an impact. I mean,
we came out in '89.
Yeah.
So this was the same time around when Ice Cube from NWA, he went solo. We was on tour with him, Too Short, Kid Rock. And if you go back to this photo, that's was our induction in 2022 into the National Hip Hop Museum in Washington, D.C. And we received a plaque, a necklace, a jacket as one of the inductees. And then this picture over here is from the MTV's 50th hip hop anniversary with Jersey's Finest. That's what they called it, I believe. And it was Wyclef Jean, Queen Latifah, Redman, and us, and we performed a couple songs. There also was the Sugar Hill Gang.
Okay.
They were the first ones to actually record a rap record and have it on wax, and they were from Inglewood, New Jersey. So they were a part of it. So it was plenty of people from that era. And this right here.
You have held the stage with some huge stars.
Man,
Oh, man.
Yeah, so man.
Goodness gracious.
I feel blessed to have done that.
So then now you get into the food trailer.
Yes.
Let's talk about that. Well, first of all, where can they get the book?
They can get the book at
this?
www.cult-freecollection.com. And if you go there, you can get stuff like this cool hat that I'm wearing, T-shirt, the book, the sauce, the rub. All of those things are there online. You just, order it and it'll be shipped out to you ASAP.
And okay, so then you've also got the food trailer.
Yes, and the food trailer was my first time leaving corporate and going out on my own. And we wanted to get a food trailer because, location is everything. And
so here's a picture of you and Manit Chauhan.
yeah, Monique Chauhan, yeah.
She owns Hop Springs.
Oh wow!
We were going to try and get her to come. We need to work on this.
Yeah,
we need to work on this.
I've been down to a restaurant. She was doing a demonstration at the university.
Okay.
So I asked one of the chefs. I say, hey, I want to go out and meet her, and talk to her. And she was so
busy.
nice.
She did a video for Amelia's Closet for one of our year's competitions, but that was before we had it back at Hot Springs. This will be our third year at Hot Springs. But anyway, yeah, we need to have her come and show up for you. Can't beat that.
And mentioning COVID, that picture there. So during COVID, there was a lot of couples who couldn't go out and enjoy a meal together at restaurants. So we would go and cater for them at their home.
Oh,
so
okay.
that was someone's anniversary or birthday, I believe, and we went to their home. So I had to put that moment in there, and that was the actual dish that we served to them there. The stuffed trout, roasted potatoes, and
that was lead and feed.
Lemon caper sauce. They was just, they just had a wonderful time. Some of the fruit carvings I've done.
Well, I'll tell you what.
And there's some recipes in there.
And some recipes.
There's recipes to the dishes.
I mean, I'm telling you what. Well, we are about out of time, but I'm so glad that you came by. Spend the time
it's
with
always
you.
a pleasure
Champ,
getting with you, talking with you.
My guy, man. I can't wait to have you back this year.
That's right.
And congratulations on
try
everything.
For that too, Pete.
Tasha, do you think he can pull it off? I mean, he can, right? No doubt.
You never know. But either way, it was a great time. It's always a good time, and it's great cause, to raise money for Amelia's Closet.
Yeah, food, clothing, shelter.
Yeah, food, clothing, and shelter.
It's the basics, man.
That's
it
right.
really is. And so now, real quick, before we let you go, do you ever perform music still? Do you ever go back to Trenton and perform music? How much do you get a chance to perform every year?
I would say in a year's time, at the very least, maybe 7 times. We have something coming up in May from the 7th through the 9th in Trenton, New Jersey. We're doing a pop-up hip-hop exhibit. Because we're bringing a museum there for all the local talent that came from there, everything from classical to pop, rock, funk, and it's going to be hip-hop's turn on May 7th through the 9th. And then we have on July 3rd, we're doing poetry on Front Street for the Passage Theater, which is a theater company that serves the inner city area. And they've had a lot of nice plays. We did a play there called Ghetto Gods from Divine Land. It was the first hip-hop play ever. So, yeah, man. And we have something coming up here in the borough that I'm going to be performing at.
Okay. Let me know.
Yeah.
We'll get the word out.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, keep creating. Keep it up. We'll
That's
see you
right,
in September
man.
if you need
keep
anything.
doing your thing as well.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for spending some time with us.